Alright guys, welcome back. Brian Peacock, Epic Outdoor Adventures. Let's talk ugly tomatoes. Let's talk ugly tomatoes. Yes, alright. Now, tomatoes. You have heirloom tomatoes and you have hybrids tomatoes. Hybrid tomatoes are those nice round looking ones you buy in the store and they're all perfect. Hybrid tomatoes are bred specifically for grocery stores and to fight diseases, blights, pests. Hybrids are all designed to better the fruits and the plants than they were before. Heirloom tomatoes are the original genetics of the original tomatoes. Okay, they are passed down from family and generation to generation, and they aren't messed with. The genetics aren't messed with or bred any other way than they have been. These here are Cherokee purple tomatoes. Cherokee purple are a heirloom tomato, but here recently they have got pretty popular as far as in the public, and a lot of companies are starting to breed Cherokee purple and a few of the heirloom tomatoes now that the heirlooms are getting a little more popular. Heirloom tomatoes tend to have better tastes, but they are a little harder to grow because of the pests and the diseases that they are susceptible to. They haven't been bred to fight those things. All right, so heirloom tomatoes look like this. Okay, this is an heirloom tomato. All right, this is what tomatoes are supposed to look like. Ugly, nasty tomatoes. Okay, nothing wrong with this tomato. Totally edible. All this is called cat facing. All right, cat facing is when the plant pushes out its blossoms or blooms. What happens is it grows 2, 3, 4 blossoms or blooms all together in one cluster, almost like Siamese or conjoined twins in people or animals. All right, so when they're connected to each other and they grow together as one. That is all that is, cat facing. All right, it's when you have multiple blooms form together in a cluster and they form one tomato. So really it's 2 or 3 tomatoes that are just connected by the blossom and they just grew together. All right, that all cat facing is, and there is nothing wrong with that tomato. It's just ugly and it's got character. All right, some of the rougher, little harder brown spots could be cut out. You don't have to eat those spots, but some of them get even uglier than this, and not all of them do it. So these are from the same plant as these, okay, and these didn't cat face. All right, they got a couple little brown spots on them from rubbing the stakes and the vines, and that's what this is from. It's just from rubbing things. Nothing wrong with that either. You can cut that off of the skin. So cat facing heirlooms. All right, Cherokee purples have gotten popular and they're starting to breed them now. So I believe that companies are starting to hybridize the heirlooms a little bit, because a while back, about 10 years ago, I would grow Cherokee purples and most every single one of them would look like this. Now they're starting to get these rounder shapes, more like the hybrids, and so I believe that they're really starting to mess with some of the heirloom genetics. As far as the heirloom seeds that you can buy in the store. Normal heirloom seeds are usually just passed down. You can't buy them. They're passed down from families or areas that they were grown in original. Okay, so nothing wrong with hybrid tomatoes. Actually, they if you have trouble with tomatoes, growing hybrids are probably the better idea. If you have a lot of blight, you have a lot of water and humidity, and you lose tomato plants readily due to pests or diseases, trying some hybrid tomatoes might be your answer to solving those issues. All right, I like the heirlooms because they taste better to me, but I still grow some hybrids as well, just in case. All right, so that's cat facing ugly tomatoes for you guys. These cracking up here on the tops of these tomatoes are really normal for when we have a little too much rain. What happens is this tomato, it starts getting swelled up with water a little too fast for the skin to be able to grow as fast as the tomato is getting big. So it just stretches out and kind of cracks open. Sometimes you'll have tomatoes just split right down the side, and that's just when you get way too much water too fast. All right, so it's inconsistent watering. Either you water too much in your garden, or you just have a big, long, like week-long rainstorm that comes in for like a whole week, pouring down rain, and that usually is what splits your tomatoes. We've had quite a bit of rain here the last week or two, and it just started to push these out as these started to swell. So that is those reasons why your tomatoes look the way they do. Nothing wrong with these tomatoes, totally edible. You know, just don't look like the ones you buy in the store. So in the store, one more fact for you guys. The store-bought food and produce that you go to the stores and buy, most of it is about 1% of produce grown in the United States end up on the produce supermarket stores because they have a standard for their fruits. They all have to be the same size. They all have to be perfectly shaped. They all have to be perfectly colored. And that is the reason why most foods and fruit produce grown in the United States are not even sold on the store shelves. They're used in canned goods, frozen foods, pet supplies, other things that use tomatoes inside, or the fruits inside of those products. So just that couple tips for you about ugly tomatoes, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you subscribe, share with somebody that doesn't know about the tomatoes. Comment, let me know if you got ugly tomatoes in your garden. I'd love to see some pictures if you guys do, so post them up, and let's talk about these ugly tomatoes, man. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time.